Good morning. Welcome to the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show. I'm Gary Demas. I'm president of Dave Fox Design Builder Remodelers right here in Columbus, and really glad to have all of you tuned in this morning. Last week, if you had a chance to tune in, I was speaking with Sam McGee. She's one of our interior designers here, and Aaron Whaley, who's a design consultant. We talked about project planning. So a lot of information there if you're thinking about a remodeling project. We just discussed all the things to be aware of, and also we were delved quite deeply into cabinetry. So if you got any kitchen cabinet questions or entertainment cabinet questions, that'd be a great show for you to listen to. And if you missed it, you can go to davefoxradio.com, and there you can download that show or really listen to any of our previously broadcast shows. So we've been doing them for a while, for over 8 years, so there's a lot there to listen to. So again, glad to have you all tuned in this morning. We are videotaping this particular radio show, and it will be available also at davefoxradio.com. And with the COVID stuff, we kind of stopped that for a while, but we figured out a way to get it done, right, Rachel?
We sure did.
Yeah. So this morning I've got Rachael with me. Rachel is really one of our team that assists the interior designers, and today we're going to talk about a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes, and I think all of you listeners will be amazed at some of the staff we have that really makes our company do what it does today. So Rachel, we're going to talk to you a lot about your responsibilities and how you assist the interior design team and how they would have a really hard time getting by without you.
Sounds great.
All right. So you can always reach us by email at davefox.com. You can go to our website at davefox.com, and our email is info@davefox.com. So if you have any questions or thoughts or maybe ideas for future topics, you can always reach out to us. We'd love to hear from our listeners. So again, that's info@davefox.com. If you go to our website, davefox.com, there's a lot of pictures of projects that we've done, a lot of information about remodeling in general, and many people find that as a great resource. So, Rachel, why don't you first kind of tell us a little bit about your background and how you happened to come to our company, and then we'll get into some of your roles and responsibilities.
Sure. So I came back here in 2016 as the intern / temporary cover for a leave at the time. And my background was in purchasing, so I wanted to take the role of the purchasing coordinator here, and got to learn a lot, got to know everyone. And then I left to go to do what I went to school for at the time. And a year later, I decided to come back and become the interior design assistant. So now I'm here 3 years later into this role and enjoying every minute of it.
That's great, and we really appreciate having you here, Rachel. You're very talented, and I do remember your intern days, and we all had so much fun with you here, and I think you had fun too.
I had a great time.
Really glad that you found your way back here.
Me as well.
We've gotten a number of our employees that way, and it's a good way for you to get to know our company and for us to get to know you. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, your boss, Michelle, came that way through internship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we want to talk about some of your responsibilities, and as I mentioned, behind the scenes, we have really quite a production here. When you think about remodeling and all the things that are part of that, and the planning phase, the design phase, the drawings that we do, all the materials that we order, the tile layouts that we do. I mean, there's so much detail and design effort in all of that stuff, and it takes a team to get that all put together. And we have the design consultant who, to some levels, involved in design, especially in like a room addition layout or some floor plan layouts. But then our interior design staff are the ones who would lay out cabinetry, kitchens, bathrooms, any basement bars or basement kitchens. So they would design and lay out the cabinetry there and work hand in hand with the design consultant. And through all that design effort, they come up with a lot of ideas, right?
They have a lot of ideas, a lot of great ideas.
So really, we need somebody that can help assist in that process. So I want you to talk just a little bit about the process and some of the projects that you get and some of the things that you are doing to aid and assist. And I know you do a lot of drawings and all kinds of stuff. So just give us a little kind of a snapshot of that, and we'll get more into that in some other segments.
Sure. So I do a lot, as you said, kind of all across the board and throughout the entire process of a project from retainer phase until the job closes. And that involves setting up a retainer folder for the interior designers to get that first jump into a job. And then from there, once a job has sold, I set up the job books and get all of that set up so that the designer can make the selections with the client. Once those selections have started being made, and like you said, the tile has been selected, the designer, or at least a few ideas sometimes, the designer will give me an idea of what they're thinking as far as how that tile is going to be laid out on the project. So if it's a shower, for example, what kind of tile they're thinking, if it's a 12 by 24 or a mosaic, and how it's going to lay out in that shower. And I'll do those drawings as well as some vanity light elevations, floor tile drawings as well. I sometimes help with shower glass drawings. Pretty much anything that they need help with, I can usually assist with when it comes to the drawings that we do that then go onto job boards. I create those, and I then create warranty books at the end of a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the warranty books, I know clients just love those, and they're always shocked to get them because we've got all the products we used in their project, the warranty information on it, cleaning information, manuals, all put away in a nice, neat little book that you put together.
Yes.
So that's really cool. Yeah. When you talk about the drawings that you do, and you're talking about tile and the different size of tile, and I know many of your projects have multiple sizes, right?
Yes, we can do all kinds of different sizes. 12 by 24, I would say, is the most popular, most universal that we have used, but they're getting into large format tiles out there. We've been seeing a lot more of 24 by 24s. So that has been fun. There are small 3 by 6s and fun mosaics and fun patterns that aren't just a 3 by 6. It could be, different hexagons or arabesque shapes and all of the different sizes of those. Yeah.
And when you get, let's say you've got an interesting shower, it may have some angles in it, or one wall longer than another, might have an opening in it. And you could run into any kind of a scenario. So if you were given, let's say 12 by 24 tiles as a general pattern, but then there's going to be some mosaics in there. There might be some edge tile or maybe some accent tile somewhere. So when you lay out that drawing, I know from a tile installation point of view, the layout is super critical because you want your joints to be evenly spaced and you want them to be uniform, and you want them to kind of align with other joints around the whole room so that it makes sense. So you don't see maybe in the corner you'd have a little 2-inch piece on one side and a 3-inch piece on another, and then a whole 24-inch.
Right.
We want to avoid those type of things. So do you get into that in your layouts?
To an extent, yes. It would definitely depend on the complexity of the tile. Sometimes just with the way our program works, it's not always accounting for grout joints to the degree that grout joints can be is a couple sixteenths. But that's what we're very grateful to have, our wonderful tile installers that do take all of that into consideration, and they look at the drawings I do and understand the idea behind it as to where those need to be laid out. And then they can do all of the magic that they do to make that actually happen in real life. Like you said, there are niches that sometimes will line up with a grout joint specifically, or we have tile in grout hooks that need to have a specific layout. And then corners, like you said, it has a lot to do with a lot of different factors, but I do get into making sure that those are set up.
Great. All right. Thanks, Rachel. We're going to get a lot more into this in our next segment. We'll be right back. And welcome back. We have Rachael with us this morning. Rachael is what is your official title, Rachael?
Interior design assistant.
Okay. So Rachael does a lot of stuff for our interior design department, and we're talking about that today. And I think if you're just tuning in, you'll be amazed at some of the things that happen in the background, some of the talent that we have here at the company to make sure all these designs get done, they are accounted for, materials are ordered, we know what's going on, we got good drawings to go by. So Rachael, you're a big part of that. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you were mentioning the layouts and different size tile, and how our tile installers, when they get there, of course, they're going to lay out the room, but your drawings are going to be a huge help for them, right, as they lay that out.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I know I've heard our guys say, man, this tile layer spends as much time laying it out as he does putting the tile up. But it's so crucial because there's so many things happening. You can have a shower niche where if you have like a large format tile and you try to cut around a shower niche and the grout joints aren't helpful to you, it could be a nightmare trying to install that thing.
Mm-hmm. Or it can always just look really, really weird.
And that's what we want to avoid, definitely. Okay. So we've got the tile layouts, and the interior designer is giving you the general feeling, and you're putting it together. And then you mentioned shower doors, and almost all the shower doors we do now are custom doors, right?
Mm-hmm. They are.
Yeah. So what do you think about when you lay out a shower door?
So that I just go by what the designer has given me. That one's more of just a helpful hand, is to give them one less thing to do. They will tell me where they want the shower glass sitting on, if there's a knee wall, how high up they want it to go, if it's 84 inches off the floor, and subtracting how high the knee wall is, creating that, and then deciding what side the hinge goes on, and then where the door handle would be placed, if there is one, because there are some showers that are just a walk-in, no swinging door, so it would just sometimes be the shower glass around the knee wall there.
Mm-hmm. And with these drawings that you create, there are those that are part of the process, and they need to get out to our production team, and like our tile installers and flooring installers, because they work off of those drawings. So how do we get the drawings out to the job site in a format that, number one, will kind of stay there and not wander off or get, if there's loose paper at a job site, who knows what's going to happen to that?
They get up and walk away on their own.
It might be used for a paint guard or something. So describe our process, Rachael, and how we get all the important information out to the job site.
Yeah, so after I create some of those drawings, the tile drawings and the shower door drawings, any other drawings that I might help out with, as well as the design consultant, the interior designer, and any other people we have working on these drawings, once all of those are done, I then take those drawings along with all of the specs that we have from all products selected and put those onto what we call a job board. And that job board is a big foam core board that is taken out to the job site, and it can set up there where everything is very carefully glued to the board so that it doesn't get up and walk away or be used as a paint guard.
Often I'll go walk by you down there when you're putting those together and kind of look at drawings, because I always love, whether I'm going on a job site or looking at what you're doing, it's really fun to see what we're putting together and what kind of a project. So on that job board, just talk about in detail the drawings and the information that you actually put on it.
Sure. So the front, I try to keep everything coordinated with specs and selections on a front side of a board, and then on the back, I try to keep all drawings together. So those drawings consist of everything from the demo plan to the new plan. And there are then it also depends on the job. It's different if it's a kitchen project versus a bath project. Of course, there are going to be drawings that are on one, not the other. But those have cabinet drawings and vanity light elevations or sconce placements. There's the electrical layout that we use for the electrical QC walkthroughs that we do. Then there are the tile drawings, or just in general flooring drawings if it's an LVT, to show, again, directionality. And then sometimes selections as well. Some of the designers will have put together what we call a mood board or a concept board, and that will be on there as well. any sort of detailed info with shower glass and hardware placement, under cabinet lighting those would be the most common that go on the boards.
Yeah, those boards are pretty large, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I think they are 20 by 40.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you think, listeners, about being out at, being responsible for putting together a very elaborate kitchen or bathroom with all the design work that's gone into it, and you've got many parties involved in that, interior designer, yourself, Rachael, the design consultant, they've spent a lot of time and effort. They've worked with the client through selections. They've gathered all this information, ordered all this product, and now we got to put it all together, right, and make it a final product that the client is going to love.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting all that information in a tangible form out to the job site, and multiple people reference that throughout the day as they're putting that job together.
Yes, it's the whole team, from the carpenters, the project managers, tile installers. Even sometimes the clients take a look at them just to get a reminder of what wonderful project they're going to have at the end of it.
Yeah. So really all that information, has come together. You're getting it out to the job site where people can look at it, decipher it, understand what their role is and what their responsibility is and what that tile layout's going to entail. All of the different, like you said, some of the selections can be very, would you say difficult or challenging because they may have a lot of pieces and parts or specific dimensions that are really critical?
Yeah, depending on what it is. If it's example of sconce light and you want to make sure that it's not bumping into the mirror or the wall, you don't want to have it too close to the wall, and you want to find that out before you start drilling holes into a wall and having to go back and fix that again. And selections with cabinets as well. Those are very particular, and the designers that work on those drawings have critical dimensions where they needed to have a filler and all of those details as well.
Yeah, those are some good points. Cabinet details, doors, drawers, functioning doors in the layout that have trim around them, and maybe we've got a cabinet going up against trim. We got to make sure the drawers are going to operate right and the doors are going to operate right. Just so many details that can come and bite you if you don't get the stuff done right. Yeah,
especially with whenever we panel appliances, those get very particular as well. Making sure that those critical dimensions for both the appliance and the panels that are going on it, because they're all custom.
Yeah, that brings back memories. Back in my cabinet ordering days, those are the things that scared me the most, was like refrigerator panels or dishwasher panels, because they are all unique to that particular appliance. And sometimes trying to read the schematic on those is like reading Greek. It's like, wow, what dimension goes where, because you'll have typically a back panel and then an overlay panel, and all the dimensions and criteria is so specific. So that can be a nightmare.
It's very specific, but it pays off in the end because it's gorgeous once it's done.
Yeah, so true. Yep. Okay, so again, we're talking with Rachael Broadstone. Rachael is our interior design assistant here. She does a lot of work for the design staff, and is really plays a critical role in getting the appropriate information out to the job site where our people can put that together and make sure that it's really going to work.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we don't want it to not work, for sure.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure it works.
There's really so much opportunity for things to go wrong in this business. The logistics are pretty incredible.
Things that you don't see coming.
Yeah. So that's why we like to have people like Rachael to help us get the information out there. So, Rachael, we're going to take a quick break. After that, we're going to talk more about tile layouts. So we will be back after the break. And you're back to the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show. And this morning I've got Rachael here with me. Rachael, it's good to have you on this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, Rachael is our interior design assistant. She does a lot of work for the interior design staff, which, how many do we have now?
Oh, gosh. I believe there's 8 of us, but 6 designers. Yes.
Okay. Good. So a lot going on, a lot of work going through that department of our company. So Rachael, we've been talking about a lot of the responsibilities you have, which are crucial to documenting the design effort that our interior designers and design consultants put into a project, and then getting that in a tangible form that can be taken to the job site. So you're producing a lot of drawings. You're like a draftsperson to some degree.
Yeah, in some ways I am.
Yeah. Do you like the CAD work?
That is my favorite part of my job.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. What do you like specifically about the CAD work?
Well, for one, it was a new program that I did not know coming into this role. And so it was very exciting to learn an entire program and the ins and outs of it to an extent, of course. But being able to do something that's hands-on and on the creative side of it, and getting to be a part of something that then goes into the job out there, and knowing that they're relying on my work and also trusts my work to get the job done and to be correct. It's fun and it's exciting, and it's also challenging in its own ways as far as making sure that dimensions are correct and figuring out where something needs to lay out on a tile layout.
Yeah. So Rachel, how often do you get a chance to go out to the jobs and see the final product?
Not as often as I would like.
Yeah.
I'm a busy bee here,
Yeah.
so it makes it difficult to sometimes get out to a job. But I will get to go out every now and again, and it's so fun to go out and see the project come to life after I've done a drawing for it in 2D to go to 3D in person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very rewarding, and it's so fun to see our clients all happy and thrilled with the product that we put up.
Yeah.
So in tile layouts, the design effort in tile, I think, is huge because you can, maybe it's a kitchen backsplash, maybe it's a really cool floor or a wall. With tile, you're almost limitless in size, color, material, texture. I mean, it's like if you went into Hamilton Parker and looked at all the tile in there, you'd come out there with a headache figuring out how on earth do I make this happen? You know, how can I ever put all this together and make it look like something meaningful?
Right. It's also like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
It's exciting to see all the different options.
Yeah, it is, and overwhelming. And that's
very.
where I think I'm amazed at how our interior designers can take this vast sea of colors and textures and sizes and assemble them in a design that really looks beautiful and complements the room that it's in. And the colors complement, other areas in the room.
Yeah.
And the size of tile, the geometric patterns that the tile creates. So there's so much effort that goes into that design work. And tile, we're doing more tile now than we've ever done.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. And we have multiple tile installers out working on projects. And it's hard finding really good tile installers, and we need really good ones because the projects are complex.
Yes.
But the end result can be stunning, when we take all these really cool sizes, textures, colors, and put them on a job site, maybe in a shower, where you can have multiple colors and designs, and you have so many times angled walls and different size walls, and you've got this big frameless shower door that fits in there too, and a threshold, a soap niche, sometimes a seat that's going to have maybe a granite or a quartz, cap on it. So many things going together to make a really interesting and beautiful and complex layout. So you are the one that gets to actually create drawings for that.
Yeah.
So when you get from an interior designer, let's say they've got a particular size tile, maybe it's 12 by 24, and then they have some accenting tiles that are a different size, and they go in a particular order, or maybe it's a mosaic pattern. How difficult is it for you to get information from them to actually create that drawing?
So it depends on the project. Sometimes projects are a lot more difficult, like you said, than others, depending on angles of walls and slopes in the ceiling. There are a lot of different factors that go into that, but I say that the designers and I work very closely as far as usually setting up a review, and we'll sit down and actually go over all of the details and have the floor plan sitting in front of us and maybe a mock drawing of the elevations of the walls to decide where are all these things going. And as they're giving me what they're thinking, I'm also asking questions that I know I run into as I do a tile drawing, such as, is there a bench and how far out will that come? And is there a soap shelf in the corner? What dimensions do you want between the different soap shelves? How big do you want the niche? Do you want it lined up with the trim, the shower trim that might be next to it? There are a lot of different questions. And then also deciding what trims the tile at the ends on the end of a knee wall or the end of the run for the tile. Is it going to be a metal edging or is it going to be bull nose? So there are a lot of different questions that between the two of us, we work out the details.
Yeah, the metal edging has been a big thing in the last few years. And it really makes a really nice, it's a nice option for finishing off the end run.
It's very clean.
Because years ago, we used to rely on a bull nose tile, and it would be a different shape than the normal layout. And it might be a 2-inch piece by 6-inch with a little half rounded edge on it, because getting a finished edge at the end of a run was important.
Right.
But now they've got all the metal edges, and they're available in different finishes, different colors, and they can really help to pull off a lot more, I think, intricate designs and still have them turn out well.
Yeah, they can help, but they can also, in their own way, make a statement. You can get a brushed gold finish on a metal edging and make that part of an accent too.
Yep, just some of the tools that these designers have.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we hear terms like running bond, herringbone. What do those mean?
So almost all tile can be installed in just about any way that you want to put it together. And running bond is probably the most common pattern, as we would say, or layout that we do, which is a half offset. But you can do a running bond horizontal or vertical. You can do a straight lay where you just have the tiles stacked evenly on top of one another. You can do a herringbone or a chevron. Sometimes you can do diagonal, all kinds of different things. We've gotten into some really fun, unique designs too, basket weaves with a 12 by 24, and just really getting creative with how we set those up just to make it something unique and different for each client.
So basket weave with 12 by 24s, you must have to have quite a bit of space to do that, huh?
You do, yes. That would be more probably a flooring or a really, really large shower.
Yeah. Okay. Which we have done some showers that are as big as my bedroom, I think.
Have a party in there.
Yeah, so you've got not only the size, but also the particular pattern you're using. And like you say, running bond is really popular today, even with multiple size tiles, right?
All different size tiles. There is a 12 by 24. There's a 3 by 6, a 2 by 9. There have been even larger tiles now. We've done 18 by 36 every now and again. You really, like you said, the options are endless. Even the square 4x4 and 6x6s are coming back, but installing them in different ways.
The old 4x4 tiles coming back?
It's coming back. It's made its
I thought it was gone for multiple years. I used to put a lot of those in.
Hey, bell bottoms came back too.
All right. Okay, Rachel, thanks. We're going to take a quick break. After that, I want to get a little more into the warranty books that you put together. So we will be right back. And welcome back to the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show. And I have Rachael Broadstone with me this morning. Rachel, thanks a lot for being here.
Super happy to be here.
Good. You're always super happy.
I try to be.
I like that about you. You're
always
happy up and you always got a smile on your face and the day's great. And I just love that.
Life is great. It's fun here.
Good deal. Okay, so we've been talking about, Rachel, a lot of your responsibilities in case we have some people just tuning in. The topic is really all the things that happen behind the scenes for us to be able to put together a really phenomenal project, a beautiful kitchen, a beautiful bathroom that's full of tons of details, right, Rachel?
Right.
Yeah. Tons of details, design work, effort, materials, selections. A lot of products need ordered. You're creating drawings for a lot of what's happening there, and these drawings go on a what do you call it? It's a what's the board?
Job board.
Job board.
Yeah. The
job board.
playbook of the job.
The playbook. Right out there where everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the details right in front of you.
It's not like football where you're trying to hide your playbook, right?
No, you want everyone to see these.
That's right. We want them all to see it. So you're putting all that work together and getting it out to the job site. And then all of our crews, all of our people, the tile layers, the electricians, our carpenters, the plumbers, they're all reviewing those drawings because that's telling them what to do on that particular job.
Yeah. And sometimes, as hard as we try to get all of those exactly correct, as you know, here in the remodeling world, things change once you get out to a job site.
Sure.
Sometimes. And sometimes it's making a call there to make a quick note on a drawing and adjusting something to make it work.
Yeah. And I think I can remember one job where the client didn't make any changes too.
One.
Yeah.
In all of your years.
But that's what we're here for. You know, things change and people see things going together. And of course, we accommodate that. We understand that's just part of it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just seeing it in person and feeling a new space. Once an old space is gone and the framework of a new space is put up, it changes your ideas.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the warranty book. We mentioned that briefly in our first segment, but there's a lot of effort that goes into that. So why don't you kind of just give our listeners an overview of really the warranty book and what's in it and how it all goes together?
Sure. So the warranty book is great because it does give you all of your info from your entire project there at the end for you to hold on to and keep both as record and just a memory from the project. We were doing a hard copy book that included everything from the selection sheet that has listed out what tile you selected, what cabinets you selected, the colors, the finishes, model numbers, the manufacturers, all of that there for reference for you. And if you have a friend come over and asks, what color is that? Where is that from? You can answer it. But it also included all of the specs. So if you wanted to reference any of the specifications from the products that you selected, those are in there as along with all care and warranty information for these products. So specifically tile and grout, quartz, natural stone, those have particular cleaning suggestions for them. And this information is in these warranty books. But now we've started to make the switch to a modern day version and doing USBs that we are able to give clients, and it just keeps all the information there at your fingertips for the computer and able to read it on there. It also allows you to have more information on there. So with the USBs, you're now also going to get your before photos, progress photos, and all of your...
What? Okay.
What?
Well, you mentioned the before photos and project photos. So
Yes.
That's really great because I didn't realize we were doing that. Because, we refer, when you think of the before photos through the design process, we're referring to those all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's fun to sometimes remember what the before space is, but it's also, for us, it's a useful tool. But for the client to see it there at the end, it's just a nice memory of what used to be there and what a big change it's been.
Yeah,
But
and they can show their friends what it used to look like.
Exactly.
And they can all marvel over it.
it's funny how people will do a remodel and sometimes they don't think about taking a before photo their own. So it's nice to have those in there.
Yeah. So you got those photos in the USB drive and a lot of the documents and blah, blah, blah.
And the plans and drawings. So you
yeah,
get to keep
sure.
those tile drawings that I do.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So just think your tile drawings are all over the city, Rachel.
they are
Yep.
being held near and dear.
Okay. So the warranty books, and really, I'm sure there's other remodeling companies that do that, but I'll bet there's a lot that don't.
Probably not. It is one extra step that I think we take to make our company and our experience different, and something for them to make it easier on our clients too for years to come after this. It also has a quick reference for if people do have a warranty issue down the road, a quick reference on how to contact us and how to get a hold of us to let us know what that issue is so that we can make sure we come fix it.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point because we really do have a great warranty department, and that's another thing that we have a separate department just to handle warranty work because we've got these clients that we care a lot about. We've done these beautiful projects for them, and from time to time, something's going to happen, and they're going to need some help, and we want to be there to help them.
And like you said, they're great, and try to do the best that they can to always make sure everyone is happy, even down the road. We don't stop when the job is done. We keep going.
Yeah. And then a lot of times clients will ask if we do small little things, like put a new door lock set on or something. And typically somebody that hasn't worked with us isn't going to call us for that kind of a project.
Right.
They're going to assume correctly that we're, more of a design build firm, and they need more of a handyman type person to do that. But once a client comes in the Dave Fox family, then we make available to them these smaller services like handyman. And we want, really, if a client needs anything, we don't want them to be afraid of calling us, because we're going to get out there and help them with whatever they need.
Right. And I think that we're honored that they trust us enough to give us a call to come do stuff like that.
Yeah. So our warranty department then, when they're not busy with warranty work, they're freed up to do those smaller things. And it's just a perfect fit, because they're equipped with a truck that's got all the tools and parts and pieces and for warranty work, and it works great for smaller projects too.
Oh, Cam's truck is decked out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's an important part of it too. So the warranty books are put together, and they are a culmination of all the design selections that the interior designer worked with the client on, and all the product information, the cleaning information. So let me ask you, Rachel, have you read do you know how to clean every kind of product there is out there from reading all that?
Oh, there's a lot. They start to get jumbled over the course of reading all these, but I have read a lot of them.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And some of our specific vendors, they do a really great job of creating these care and info sheets on their own websites that I'm able to take straight from them that will specify what exact brands of cleaners will be safe for their products.
Okay.
And so when that's there, that's super helpful as well to make sure that you're not ruining your brand new quartz.
Yeah. And if anybody's like me, if I get like a warranty book or something on a product, and a single product, and they've got all these different, it could be, who knows what, something that you use in the yard or in my shop or whatever, a tool. And I think, what on earth am I going to do with this? I'll just lose it. It's going to be gone.
Yes.
But with our projects, you're putting the whole thing in one location. So the client will know that if they have an issue with anything in their bathroom project or kitchen project, they have one resource to go to.
They have one nice put together booklet or USB. The USB, you can just save your own copies in different places too.
Yeah.
So you can't lose any of the info, but we also keep record of it too.
True.
So if there is anything that they forget, we'll have it.
Yeah. So Rachel, thanks a lot for being on this morning. Really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Appreciate all the efforts that you put into your job and make our whole department work smoother.
I love doing it.
So all the listeners out there, appreciate having you all tune in. We'd like to hear from you. You can email us at info@davefox.com. You can go to davefoxradio.com. There you can actually listen to all of our previously broadcast shows. We have some videos up there. We are videotaping this session. So we will be back here next Sunday morning at 8.